And for more on the Democracy Day commemoration, let's join Faith Wadishi, Executive Director, Center for Transparency Advocacy. She joins us tonight via Zoom. Thank you so much, Faith, for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Good evening, Nigeria. Happy Democracy Day.
Happy Democracy Day. Okay, let's begin. I would like your thoughts on what people consider the most critical elements of a democracy, whether it is free elections, rule of law, civil liberties, check and balances, and of course several other elements as well. How does democracy thrive when these elements reinforce each other, and how do their absence create a vacuum in a democracy like Nigeria's democracy?
So thank you very much, Jumai. All of the principles you have mentioned are all aspects of democracy that make citizens and countries strive to have democracy. And across Africa, across the world, people look up to say we are practicing democracy because of one, inclusiveness, which is at the center of it. That is engagement of the people and participation of the people in governance. It has to be through popular participation, because when you look at the processes that bring on the different structures or institutions that you have in the democratic system, for instance, the executive and the legislature, which is most important, the legislature is the center of engagement for people. So when you have all of that in place, you have freedom, you have justice, you have rule of law, you have participation, all of that happening. And when all of this is absent, really, you do not have a democracy. And I've also argued that the kind of democracy you see us practice in Africa should actually be a democracy that is side by side within the context of our country, within the African context itself, so that we can define the ultimate meaning of democracy, so that it can also be something that people, the ordinary people on the street, in the villages, can relate with, to say, this is actually a democracy that we're practicing. But when you don't have the people participating, you don't have the people hold those in governance accountable, then there is a disjointed kind of democracy. But again, the democracy we have in Nigeria is democracy that all of us, citizens, those in power, should work together to ensure that we have a democracy that endures, that all of us benefit from going forward.
Okay, Faith, we say democracy is a work in progress in Nigeria, and I wonder how and what it would take, to inject new ideas into our democracy, an infusion of democratic practices in Nigeria. How can it impact governance structures and endanger quality in leadership and governance?
So one way that you can do that is to really engage the people and listen to the people. Most times it's not always about criticizing. Sometimes the best solutions come from criticizing and proffering solutions to issues. But when you proffer solutions and these solutions are not taken on board, you see yourself going around a circle. It is important that we engage the people. We need to have a dialogue. Yesterday, the House of Reps had a dialogue with citizens. That was beautiful. That is an element of democracy. But I wish that this kind of dialogue can happen more at the constituency level rather at the federal level. Because the members of the National Assembly, for instance, represent people from their constituencies. So they should be able to bring on board the kind of solutions that are coming from the people at the constituency level to help us do all of these things we need to do to have an enduring democracy. So if we do that engagement, I keep insisting that including the people in policies, in lawmaking, bringing all of these solutions. This morning, if you listen very well to the speech of the president, when he talked about issues around the opposition, sometimes that opposition can actually give you solutions to your problem. But you heard the Senate president say, no, forget about the opposition, don't think about them. No, we should actually bring on board all of the voices, because within these voices that are not on your table for discussion could be the point of solution that you need to move the government forward.
Okay, Faith, as always, I love your passion and love for this country, and you can just show as you speak. Thank you so much for coming on Network News tonight.
Thank you for having me.
We appreciate your time.